Hi family, welcome back to Bex Flavor. I hope that you are all doing very well. Today I want to share this soft, pillowy, doughy Turkish bread with you that you can pair with basically everything, okay? Let's get started. So to get started, I am going to have some warm milk into my bowl, and then to this I'm also going to add some warm water as well. Then I'm going to be adding some instant yeast and some sugar. I will list everything in the description box below, so please do check that out, okay? Then I'm going to give everything a nice mix together, ensuring that everything is nicely incorporated. So after everything is nicely mixed together, I am going to add in some olive oil. I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of olive oil as well. Then I'm going to be adding in my flour. I am using normal all-purpose flour. You can use bread flour if that's what you have. And then I am adding in some salt as well. I'm going to be mixing everything together, and then later I'll use my hand to sort of mix everything nicely together. So I'll mix the dough together until everything is nicely combined and it is a little bit more smoother. I'm not going to knead it as if I'm making bread, because you know when you're making bread, you're going to have to knead it for a longer period of time. But I'm only going to be kneading this for about 5 minutes until everything is just nicely combined together. I added in about a tablespoon of flour. I know the dough is going to be sticky, but please don't be tempted to add in too much flour. You want the dough to be nice and soft, okay, so that your Turkish bread can be nice and soft. Otherwise, it's just going to be too hard, okay? So don't be tempted. If you're struggling, just add a little bit of oil onto your palms and then just knead it for about 5 minutes until it's nice and soft. Now that my dough is ready, I'm just going to be putting a little bit of olive oil on top of the dough and a little bit around the bowl as well. This is to prevent the dough from drying out, and also once it rises, it doesn't stick to the bowl as well. So that's just what I'm doing. Then I'm going to be cover this up with a cling film, and I'll allow this to sit for about 45 minutes until it's doubled in size. I usually place mine in the oven with just the light on, not the actual oven switched on, and this helped my proofing process as well. So you can try that if you need it to rise quicker. So after about 45 minutes, my dough has risen and doubled in size. So I am just going to deflate this and then get ready to make my Turkish bread. I'm just going to lightly flour my surface. You don't want to use too much flour, but just enough so that the dough doesn't stick to your work surface. I'm just going to knead it for about a few seconds just to deflate the air bubbles inside the dough. I'm then going to divide the dough into 6 equal parts. I ended up weighing the dough just to make sure that I have sort of equal portions of dough. But of course you can eyeball this, you don't have to specifically weigh this out. But I just like to weigh it out to make sure that everything is the same size. And what I'm going to do now is just to form this into like a dough, like a ball. This will make sure that when I'm rolling this out, the dough will be nice and circular. Okay, so I'm just forming a ball or a dough, a round shape if you may, and then I'll get ready to roll this out. Okay. So to ensure that the dough doesn't dry out whilst working on the one dough that you have, I'm going to be covering this dough up because I don't want it to dry up, okay? So it's very important, please cover the dough up whilst you're working on one of them, okay? I'm just going to flour my surface again, and then I am going to be rolling this out into a circular round shape. It is very, very simple and very easy to do, honestly. It doesn't have to be a perfect round shape, but just try and get it as round as you can. You want to get it so this thickness, you know, the thickness that I've just showed you, the thicker it is, the thicker your bread is going to be. The flatter it is, the flatter your bread is going to be. So it's preference on how thick or how thin you want your Turkish bread to be. And now I'm just going to place this in a heated pan. This is a low to medium frying pan, a non-stick. Please use a non-stick. If you don't use a non-stick, you're going to struggle a little bit. So please use a non-stick pan to do this process. So once you see that all the bubbles are coming up, that is your cue to flip your bread around. Allow this about 1 or 2 minutes on each side and keep flipping it throughout until it's nice and golden brown on both sides, and then you're good to go. So after like a minute or two on each side, you're just going to flip it around just to ensure that all the side is nice and golden brown. And then after about 2 or 3 minutes, you're going to take this out of the pan once everything is nicely brown, and then you're going to continue with the remaining of the dough. Now I've got here some butter, some melted butter and some parsley. Once I take my bread out of the pan, I want to now go on and slightly or lightly spread this on top of the bread to keep it nice and moist, and of course to add some flavor to the bread as well. So you do this to each of the bread that you take out. Once you take it out, straight away put some butter and parsley on there and then continue with the rest. So here I am, I've finished doing all my bread and look at how good this looks. You can't tell me that this is not inviting to you. You can have this with a curry, you can have this with everything, stew, everything you want, but I am going to have this with some chicken kebab, which I'll be sharing very, very soon in my next video. So be sure to put on your bell so that when I do post a video, you'll be the first to be notified, okay? So I'm just showing you how soft this bread is. See how it just tears together? You know I love anything doughy, okay? It is so, so good. But be on the lookout for the chicken kebab that I'm going to have it with. As you can see over there, it is so, 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 so good, okay? So don't miss that out, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, and I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.